Hello. So I have just a 3-card reading telling the story, and this is literally telling the story. Let's, someone asked a question, what do I need to know today? What is it? What can I do? I don't know, just a question. And don't focus on the question as much as what the cards are telling you. Like, get the question out of your head and go, what are these cards saying? This is kind of a tough little reading, and that 5 of Pentacles in this deck is so dark. So we have the 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, and the Moon card. I'm going to pull them up to me. My kitty's saying hi. So I have, in this deck, the 10 of Swords is about fears. So in other words, should I go into this door or not? Should I leave this world and enter a new one? I still feel like it's the death, it's the end of something, but it's an exit. This is talking about an exit, and do I take the exit? Do I leave? Do I end this to go to something new? And in that comes fear, right? So this 10 of Swords, I feel like is about fear, and the 5 of Pentacles is really about being stuck in a hole. But I do see some clues in this 5 of Pentacles as well, and I'll talk about them. And then the Moon is, of course, about your shadows. The shadow self, the shadow side. There's 2 pillars, a dark and a light. There's the kitty moon, which is shining, but what's it shining on? And this person is kind of looking up, asking for help. I feel like in this case, I feel like almost like praying to the moon in a sense. So when we look at the 10 of Swords, so telling the story, okay, here we go. So this is just blurting out whatever, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. The 10 of the Swords. So the situation is, I'm in a situation where I feel like I really need to leave, but it really scares me. It scares me to walk out that door and leave what I know behind, because I'm afraid that I'm going to drop into this hole, and this hole could be where I don't have anything and I can't get out. And if I can't get out, what am I going to do then? And how am I going to, handle it? So if I leave, I'm scared because I'm going to end up in this hole. I do see some signs up at the top that maybe someone will notice me in this hole, and maybe someone will be able to help me out. But I feel very destitute. I feel like if I don't leave, so now I'm going to go back. If I don't leave, I'm going to be stuck here forever. But I'm afraid. I'm truly afraid. And I have to remember that sometimes things aren't always as they seem. I look up at the sky and I ask, please help me. I need to know which way to go. And the moon tells me that the shadows cast in many directions. What is true and what is not true? True is what you believe to be true. So if you believe that you're stuck, if you believe that you're afraid, then you will be. If you don't believe that, then you can move forward. So remember that the moon is about things aren't always as they seem. That's where I came up with that, by the way. So it's not just something I made up. So there you have it. So basically, the answer to this issue is, so the queer would have been probably in a situation where they're afraid to leave. They feel like they're in this deep hole and they need to get out and they need to go find, but they're afraid. And then the moon tells them, hey, things aren't always as they seem. You may see this one way, but then you're looking through like a telescope. You're looking at it, not a telescope, but fine. You're looking at it with, what are those called? Monocular, anyway, one of those mono lenses. I can't think of the dang word. So, and if you open up your heart a little bit, you'll be able to see the other answers and look at the way the moon is casting the shadows. Maybe you just need to look at it in a different light. So, yeah, so that's just an idea of how to kind of just tell the story. 3 cards, telling the story, not doing a reading. This is great journal practice to learn about the cards and learn how to explain the cards and learn to talk about how you feel about the cards. And especially when they're together, like how does that make you feel when they're together like this? Where you may see the Five of Pentacles one way in this deck when it's around different cards versus when it's around these. So doing these random draws and telling the story, whether you write them down, record them, whatever you do is really going to give you more intuitive insight into your readings and allow yourself to just see it and say it and feel it instead of, am I right? Am I right? Because that's what we do in readings, right? When we first start to read, we're so worried about being right instead of just letting ourselves, let the tarot guide us into this reading instead of us going, oh my God, is it right or wrong? And just do it. Just do it. You're wrong, but you're probably not. You know, the clairvoyant might not identify with it right away. They may 3 months later, you may never hear about it, but you probably not. So as long as you're being honest with saying what you truly see and feel, then it will work out the way it's supposed to. So there you have it. That's just, telling the story.